Welcome to the HFY Tales channel. Remember to like and subscribe if you like the story. Enjoy and take care. In the vibrant cosmos of the Zorathian galaxy, three daring alien girls readied themselves for an extraordinary adventure. Tiara, with her bold lavender skin and lively green eyes, leaned over the control panel of their small spacecraft, the Zorathi Explorer. "Adjust the trajectory. I want to see Earth up close," she exclaimed, her voice bubbling with excitement. Seated next to her was Zia, the meticulous thinker, studiously examining the flashing lights with her shimmering blue skin. She frowned at Tiara's impulsiveness. "We must follow the outlined path, Tiara. Deviating is ill-advised," she cautioned, but her words fell on deaf ears. Nia, with soft pink skin that glowed in different shades depending on her mood, busily recorded their journey into a crystal, capturing each moment. "Let's just enjoy this," she urged, her voice imbued with a gentle enthusiasm. Her optimism was often the glue that held the trio together. The ship, although advanced, was not without its quirks. Just as they entered Earth's atmosphere, alarms blared across the control panel. "Warning! Malfunction detected!" echoed a robotic voice, startling all three of them. Tiara glanced at Zia, her heart racing. "What did you do?" Zia shouted, as the ship began to spiral out of control. "I'm trying to stabilize it," Tiara replied, fighting against the controls. The ship shuddered violently, tossing them from side to side as they screamed in unison. With a final jolt, the vessel crash-landed into a lush, green expanse, leaving a dramatic crater-like mark that sent birds scattering into the sky. Dazed but alive, the girls emerged from the wreckage to find themselves surrounded by a crowd of curious onlookers, joggers, picnickers, and wide-eyed children. Confusion swept through the humans as they gawked and whispered among themselves. "Are they aliens?" a little girl finally asked, pointing excitedly. The girls exchanged glances, unsure of what to do. Tiara, quick to attract attention, flashed a charming smile that did little to calm the startled spectators. "Greetings, Earthlings," she declared in a voice that mixed curiosity with mischief. Many humans recoiled in fear, while a few took a step closer, curiosity piqued. "What are you?" a jogger asked, his eyes darting from one alien to another. In a moment of boldness, Nia stepped forward, her natural compassion shining through. "We come in peace. We are here to study human bodies," she stated earnestly, not realizing how odd it sounded to the Earthlings. The result was immediate chaos. Humans turned and ran, leaving the aliens standing in bewilderment. "Great start," Zia muttered dryly, rolling her eyes. But Tiara was undeterred. "Let's explore. I want to learn what these humans are like," Tiara insisted, beckoning them to follow. The three girls walked deeper into the park, uncertain of how they would communicate with these intriguing beings. With each passing moment, Tiara's excitement grew at the prospect of discovering the peculiarities of human interactions. They would laugh, learn, and perhaps find something wonderful in their adventure on Earth. Contrary to their expectations, the humans returned after a short while, albeit cautiously. A small crowd gathered again, intrigued yet frightened of their alien visitors. "They look so strange," a tall boy whispered to his friend, glancing nervously at the trio. "Strange? We are astounding," Tiara declared, raising her arms in a grand gesture. As they interacted with the humans, hilarity ensued as the girls misinterpreted local customs and terminology. The language barrier led to endless questions, hilariously misheard announcements, and misunderstandings that turned the first encounter into a whirlwind of confusion and shocking discoveries. The park felt eerily quiet after the initial rush of curious spectators, their initial astonishment emerging from the shadows of uncertainty. Tiara, Zia, and Nia ventured further, peeking behind trees as they examined their new surroundings, their senses tingling with excitement and apprehension. "Is this how they always act?" Zia asked as she examined remnants of a picnic spread on a nearby blanket. "Why would they run away?" "Maybe they're just not used to our intensity," Tiara suggested, a hint of mischief in her eyes. Suddenly, a loud thud broke their conversation. A jogger tripped over a sandwich left on the ground, landing flat on her face. The trio rushed to the scene. "Are you injured, human?" Nia asked, her soft voice laced with genuine concern as she knelt beside the fallen jogger. The jogger, Emily lifted her head slowly, confusion washing over her. She stared wide-eyed at the three girls. "What are you?" she gasped, jolting up in surprise. Tiara, bursting with enthusiasm, introduced herself dramatically. "I am Tiara from Zorath. These are my friends, Zia and Nia." With an upbeat laugh, Emily shook her head, bewildered yet amused. "Zorath? Is that a real place?" "Of course it is," Tiara exclaimed, her confidence buoyed by Emily's curiosity. "We've traveled through millions of light years just to meet humans." Emily couldn't contain her laughter, the initial shock dissipating. "Well, you sure know how to make an entrance." As they chatted, Nia observed Emily closely, intrigued by her human form, her slender frame, flushed cheeks, and radiant energy. "Why do you run so much?" Nia asked curiously. "Is it a form of defense?" Emily chuckled, shaking her head. "No, it's just exercising. Keeps me healthy." Her laughter was infectious, and the girls found themselves drawn into the warmth of their first interaction. "Exercise?" Zia echoed, intrigued. "Perhaps we should study this," she mused, trying to understand why humans would engage in such physical activity. Tiara's mischievousness kicked in as she decided they needed to experience this exercise firsthand. "Let's jog with Emily," she suggested excitedly. "Jog?" Zia frowned. "Is running supposed to be enjoyable?" Before they could argue further, Tiara grabbed Emily's hand, mouthing impulsively, "Show us." With surprise, Emily laughed, leading them down a path. The aliens quickly found themselves panting and stumbling as they awkwardly tried to keep up, each step filled with comedic blunders. The surprised joggers around them exchanged bewildered glances, making the scene even more entertaining. Eventually, they collapsed on a grassy knoll, laughter echoing across the park as they caught their breath. "This is exhausting," Zia said, her cheeks slightly flushed from their exertion. "Exhausting but fun," Tiara chimed, reveling in the exhilaration of sharing a human activity. As the sun began to set, casting warm golden hues across the park, the girls felt a sense of connection with a human for the first time, a bond that transcended their cultural differences. They spent the evening in light-hearted banter, filled with shared experiences and erupting laughter. The bonds they were forging sparked something within each of them, an understanding of not just the human body, but the essence of humanity itself. The following day, the trio returned to the park, brimming with excitement to further explore the quirky habits of humans. The vibrant chatter of the bustling park enveloped them like a warm blanket as they observed joggers, picnickers, and family gatherings. "This place is overflowing with softness," Zia remarked, narrowing her focus on a small, fuzzy puppy waddling across the grass. "Softness? They look incredibly squishy," Tiara added with a laugh, her curiosity piquing further as she watched a group of kids playing tag, their laughter ringing in the air. As the girls moved closer, Nia whispered, "Why do they tumble so often? How do they survive with such delicate bodies?" "Delicate?" Zia replied, intrigued yet skeptical. "I'd like to see how they defend themselves." As they continued to observe, the trio drew closer to a group of teenagers stretching before their soccer game. The girls watched intently, their fascination with human anatomy growing. Tiara spotted a tall boy in the group and boldly approached him. "Your limbs are so thin," she said, tilting her head like a curious alien. "What?" He blinked at her in confusion while his friends snickered. Thanks?" Nia looked at the boy, her brows furrowing. "But what if something attacks you? How do you defend yourselves?" With a collective laugh, he replied, "Well, we'd run away or, call for help." "Duh." Nia's eyes widened as she processed this new information. "Call for help? How interesting. Is that a formal approach?" With a laugh, they learned about the importance of social bonds among humans, and the girls became even more interested in the interactions that unfolded before them. Tiara decided it was time for them to participate fully. "Let's play. We should try to be like them," she declared, excitement igniting once more. As they joined a game of soccer, their clumsiness was on full display. Tiara accidentally tripped, sending a beach ball flying into a group of cheering kids who burst into laughter. The girls ended up tangled in each other, misinterpreting the rules and creating a delightful chaos. Is this how you always play? Zia asked, panting and giggling as she struggled to keep her balance. Bounding toward Nia and Tiara, the boys joined in the laughter. You guys are hilarious, one shouted, diving to avoid getting caught while the alien girls, out of breath, attempted to mimic their movements. As the afternoon went on, their energy shifted from awkwardness to exhilaration, and they quickly learned to embrace the joy and unpredictability of human games. Nia, in particular, became enchanted by the camaraderie, forming deeper connections with the humans. Eventually, they veered off to a shady tree to catch their breath, their cheeks flushed with laughter. Your physicality is so interesting, Nia stated, her tone insightful. Humans have a strange, delicate beauty about them. It's strange yet delightful, Tiara exclaimed, her eyes sparkling. I can feel the infectious joy flowing through us. As they continued to observe and play, their understanding of humanity deepened. They were not just intrigued by the human form, but genuinely entertained by the spirit of joy and friendship that surrounded them. As the sun shone bright on a brand new day, Tiara eagerly led the trio back to the park, her energy infectious. They were ready for more exploration, excitement thrumming in their veins. Let's dive deeper into their culture, she cried out, directing her friends toward a nearby cafe bustling with chatter and laughter. Surveying the scene, Zia eyed the cafe with a mix of curiosity and skepticism. It appears humans gather here for sustenance, she observed, noting the aroma of freshly brewed coffee wafting through the air. What a strange practice to consume liquid, Tiara argued, her eyebrows raised. Let's sample this food they speak of. It will help us understand their customs. As they entered the cafe, the youthful energy shifted, curiosity enveloping them once more. The barista, a cheerful young woman, looked at the girls in astonished delight. Welcome. What would you like? She asked, trying to suppress her giggles. We will take cookies, Tiara proclaimed, eyes lighting up at the thought of sweet sustenance. Cookies? That's a good choice. How many? The barista replied, raising an eyebrow at their peculiar appearances. Zia stepped forward. I require a systematic analysis. What do you recommend? The barista blinked, appearing slightly confused. I don't think I can hand you a systematic thing. Just pick what you want. Let's try a dozen of everything, Tiara insisted, her exuberance spilling into laughter. As they ordered, it became increasingly clear that they had found themselves in yet another amusing arena. When their drinks finally arrived, they watched the humans around them savor their lattes and coffees. What is this dark liquid? Zia frowned, examining the cup as if it were a mysterious alien artifact. Must be coffee, Tiara chirped, raising her cup with enthusiasm. I thought it might be poison, Zia said matter-of-factly, taking a careful sip. As the bitter taste flooded her mouth, her eyes went wide. This is absolutely revolting, Tiara burst into laughter, nearly spilling her drink. In that moment, the barista returned, unable to contain her mirth. Told you it takes a while to get used to. Maybe we should invent Zorathian coffee instead, Nia suggested, joining the laughter wholeheartedly. The process of acquiring taste is such a ridiculous concept, Zia said, shaking her head in disbelief. As they lingered over their drinks, they engaged in conversation with other patrons who were curious about their alien culture. The trio began to share stories about their planet, discussing their semi-gravity and unique experiences. In turn, the humans shared their own peculiarities, making for a delightful exchange. What is a hobby? Asked Nia, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. Oh, it's something fun you do in your free time, a friendly college student replied, smiling widely. Ah, we engage in floating, but I'm starting to think floating is not entirely the same concept, Nia exclaimed, sharing the observation with the girls. Maybe we need to engage in this fun concept, Tiara decided. Let's spend the day having fun as humans do. As they left the cafe, an infectious excitement enveloped them as they contemplated how to engage in more human activities. The girls made plans to participate in a local festival occurring the next day, where they could immerse themselves in the essence of what it meant to be human. Tomorrow promises to be an adventure, Tiara cried, energizing both Nia and Zia, who nodded in agreement, eager to dive headfirst into their newfound experience. The following day dawned bright and beautiful, a warm summer sun illuminating the park. Colorful banners festooned the trees as street vendors set up booths filled with food and games. Tiara, Zia, and Nia were giddy with excitement as they sped toward the heart of the festivities, bursting with anticipation. "Look at everything," Tiara gasped, stopping to take it all in. "This is a perfect atmosphere for fun." "Fun? You keep saying that word, but what exactly does it entail?" Zia asked, squinting at a booth filled with humans trying their hand at games. "It's about enjoyment, memories, emotions," Tiara shouted, practically bouncing in place. As they approached a game booth, Emily waved enthusiastically from across the crowded area. "You made it. I can't wait to show you all the activities." "Well, that sounds promising," Tiara said as they picked up their pace. Emily introduced them to the first activity, a game called Cornhole, where players tossed bags filled with beans to land in a hole on a raised platform. Tiara was ecstatic. "Let's show them how it's done." "Show them? We don't even understand the rules," Zia retorted, her arms crossed. "Oh, it's easy. Just aim and toss," Emily explained, demonstrating effortlessly. Tiara followed suit, aiming for an ambitious score, sending the bag flying but missing the board entirely. It landed in a bush nearby with a soft thud. Soon, Nia stepped up to try, her nerves getting the best of her. She tossed the beanbag too lightly, watching it plop harmlessly towards the ground. Laughter erupted among the nearby spectators, and Nia couldn't help but giggle too. As they played, their efforts were comically off-target, leading to relentless laughter amongst the gathered crowd. More humans joined in, eager to take part in the enthusiastic alien antics, each toss leading to cheers and playful jabs at their unusual style. "Let me try one more time," Tiara shouted, her competitive spirit ignited. She aimed again, launching the bag with all her might, and watched in disbelief as it flew past the board and into a contestant's drink. "Oh no!" Tiara exclaimed, her face flushed with colorful embarrassment. The human gasped, but broke into laughter, raising his cup in triumph. "Your aim needs work," Zia teased, leaning against a nearby pole, a glint of humor in her eyes. Yet, despite their supposed ineptitude, the aliens quickly formed bonds with the humans, exchanging stories and laughter. Emily introduced them to others, sharing their alien origins and cultural quirks while creating connections that defied distance. As the day progressed, Nia found herself paired with a local artist named Sam, who was passionate about sketching the lively atmosphere around them. She admired his dedication to capturing beauty, prompting excitement for her own artistic expressions back home. "What drives your creativity?" she asked curiously. "It's freedom. I see you all enjoying life and I have to capture it," Sam replied, a wide smile breaking out on his face. Their conversation flowed effortlessly, Nia becoming more entranced by each sketch Sam completed, marveling at how he melded emotion into every stroke. As dusk descended upon the festival, Tiara and Zia caught up with Nia and Sam, noticing the connection blossoming between them. "Looks like you might have a new Earth friend," Tiara teased. With the vibrant colors of the festival backdrop, the friendships continued to deepen, their laughter resonating through the park. They danced to the music, exchanging secrets under the twinkling lights, realizing that the connections they forged were as bright and vivid as the festival itself. Fueled with energy from their fruitful day of exploration, Tiara, Zia, and Nia decided to host a cultural exchange night at the park, a chance to showcase Zorathian traditions while learning about humanity. Their excitement buzzed like electricity in the air as they prepared for the event. "Let's make it unforgettable," Tiara grinned, crafting posters adorned with colorful alien symbols. Emily and Ethan stepped in as enthusiastic helpers, eager to spread the word among the local community. As the night approached, the park transformed into a welcoming hub for curious Earthlings eager to witness the alien culture. But amid the preparations, chaos emerged almost instantly. Tiara, fueled by her passion, led the girls to start with a Zorathian dance, a dazzling yet puzzling display of exhilarating movements. However, as they twirled energetically, the humans' onlookers stood still, confusion painting their faces. "What is this?" murmured a bewildered onlooker, while others exchanged quizzical glances. The girls danced with abandon, oblivious to the lack of enthusiasm surrounding them. It wasn't long before the laughter began. Some brave humans attempted to join in but ended up tangled with each other, creating a hilarious mess of limbs. Realizing they were losing the crowd, Zia quickly learned from Emily's calm demeanor and explained, "Zorathian dances are chaotic celebrations of life. You must feel free." Suddenly, Naya, hoping to turn the tides, unleashed a canvas displaying Zorathian art, vibrant with emotion and beauty. "This is how we communicate," she declared, gesturing toward her work. The artist, Sam, stood beside her, excited to collaborate. "Let's show them how we express ourselves. This is art, and it requires passion," he exclaimed. Almost immediately, humans were drawn to the artwork, some clapping while others picked up brushes to contribute. A collective spirit of creativity emerged, prompting conversations that flowed like paint across the canvas. However, when it came time to share Zorathian cuisine, the girls went overboard, enthusiastically preparing an array of unusual delicacies no earthling had tasted before. Despite the warnings of unconventional flavors, eager taste test volunteers bravely took tiny bites. The result was immediate chaos. Once a party of laughter, the atmosphere turned to one of strange satisfaction and delirious delight. As peculiar flavors danced over the humans' taste buds, expressive reactions only added to the hilarity. Zia, in disbelief, watched as a brave soul tried one of their colorful, sticky Zorathian dishes, immediately contorted into a silly face. "Is this how it tastes? How original!" the poor human exclaimed, reaching for water to wash the flavor away. Tiara and Nia burst into laughter, unable to control their amusement. It shifted the tension. They fell into a whirlwind of giggles. "Your food is wild," a teenager shouted, love for the spontaneous experience written across their face. Just then, Zia suggested, "Why don't we try human activities? Let's get involved." As she said this, the lively spirit of the festival began to reignite within the crowd. The aliens leapt into new games and playful activities, their hesitation melting away as they finally grasped the concept of fun. Laughter ran rampant as humans and aliens alike joined together in a chaotic game of tug-of-war, and with each tug, bonds started to deepen. As the night approached, the atmosphere of joyful camaraderie enveloped the park. People danced, ate together, and shared their own stories, while Tiara led an improvised rendition of a Zorathian celebratory song, laughter echoing through the trees. That sense of culture began to mesh, creating an extraordinary moment, a fusion of laughter, tradition, and friendship amid the starlit sky. Yet, unbeknownst to them, a figure lurked in the shadows, taking furtive notes about the bizarre and thrilling events unfolding beneath the celestial canopy. In the comforting haze of laughter and vibrant gatherings, an unexpected chill swept over the alien girls as they gathered for their post-event debrief. Tiara was still glowing from the festival's joyous atmosphere, but Nia felt an unusual prickle of unease. "I've noticed odd looks since we began our cultural exchange," Nia said, her gentle brows knitting together in concern. "There's been something different in the air." Tiara waved her off. "We've made friends. This is a celebration, remember?" Zia, however, was less convinced. "I have observed an individual lingering on the fringes throughout the night. I suspect he may be investigating us," she said, scanning the nearby shadows nervously. "Investigating? Why would anyone do that?" Tiara frowned, becoming increasingly concerned. "Perhaps they've noticed our irregularities and interactions," Zia pointed out, her analytical brain racing. "It could pose a threat to our safety." Suddenly, Nia gasped and pointed. "Look, the man in the trench coat." They huddled together, peering nervously at the figure standing a distance away, scribbling notes furiously. "What if he's—" Tiara began, her voice dropping to a whisper. "What if he's a government agent?" They instinctively stepped back into the shadows, minds racing. Each girl felt a tightening knot of anxiety form in their stomachs. "We need to get out of here," Nia urged, her heart pounding as the figure moved closer. "I agree," Zia said firmly. "We can't risk our identities being exposed." "Let's retreat to the ship," Tiara exclaimed, determination flaring in her eyes. They dashed toward their crash site, navigating through the park's pathways as fear began gnawing at them. Their footsteps echoed softly beneath the blooming trees, but the presence of potential danger loomed heavily in the air. As they reached the crash site, Tiara took a moment to glance back towards the park, worry whispering against her heartstrings. "I can't believe this is happening," she exclaimed. "We've only just started to make friends. What will they think of us?" "First, we need to protect ourselves," Zia pragmatically responded, her voice steady amidst the chaos brewing within them. As they sealed the hatch of their ship, the tension spilled into their ship. "We've got to lay low for a while," Nia whispered nervously, brows drawn together. "If we keep moving, they might not suspect us." Determined to stay one step ahead of whoever, whatever, loomed in the park, the girls braced themselves for a tense night ahead. The bonds they had so carefully formed now felt threatened, and the uncertainty of their journey weighed heavily in the air. They exchanged glances filled with sincerity. This adventure was about friendship, connection, and learning, not risk. With courage sparking within them, the girls vowed to protect what they'd found amidst the laughter, leaving the shadows behind. With their eyebrows furrowed in worry, Tiara, Zia, and Nia plotted their exit from the park. Fueled by determination, they gathered tools and remnants left in their ship that could help enhance its capabilities. The sense of urgency thrummed within them, coaxing each girl to focus on salvaging their journey. "We need to fix the ship and leave," Zia suggested, eyebrows furrowing as she scrutinized the controls. "If we can stabilize it, we can evade the approaching danger." Tiara nodded, her brow set. "Agreed. Let's put everything we've learned into practice." As they worked on the minor repairs, an electric anticipation lingered in the air. Time moved slowly, their hearts heavy with worry of what might come next. Outside, the sun began to dip below the horizon, casting long shadows across the park. Nia paused, listening intently. "Do you hear that?" "What?" Tiara asked, continuing to hastily fix wires. The faint echo of footsteps drew nearer, causing Nia to pale. "I think the agent is getting closer." Tiara's focus sharpened. "We need to act fast, almost there." Zia continued to direct them, her mind racing with calculations and protocols. "We must be prepared for any possible outcome," she instructed, hoping to maintain the calm. Just then, the sounds of hurried footsteps echoed louder, and a voice broke through the stillness. "They must be in here! I'll check the ship!" the agent shouted, pushing through the trees. Panic surged within Nia. "He's coming! We need to launch now!" "Ready?" Tiara said, determination burning in her eyes. "On 3. As the agent approached, Tiara frantically pulled the final lever, and with a powerful roar, the ship sputtered to life, nearly sending them tumbling backward. "Lift off in T-3 seconds, she shouted, her heart pounding against her ribs. The girls exchanged determined glances as they initiated the countdown. The ship began to ascend, leaving the ground behind and lifting into the cobalt sky above. "Faster! We need to outpace him," Zia urged, her analytical brain focused on the speed gauge. Tiara's excitement surged as she controlled the ship, narrowly evading the vines and branches that threatened to hinder them. As they finally broke free of the park's confines, a new sense of hope filled the cabin. Looking back toward Earth, Tiara grinned. "We did it. We escaped." "Not just yet," Zia cautioned. "We need to avoid detection." As the park faded into the distance, the silhouettes of humans swarmed below them. Their excitement intertwined with adrenaline as they left behind the looming uncertainty, and in that moment of collective success, laughter erupted among the girls. "Did you see that?" Nia laughed, feeling exhilarated. "That was the wildest adventure yet. We survived." "This was incredible," Tiara reiterated, joy brilliantly lighting up her face. "I can't believe we made it." As their ship soared above the clouds, glimmers of stars began to flicker one by one against the dark canvas of space. In the cockpit, the girls found a shared sense of relief, their hearts swelling with triumph. "Friends, adventure, danger, it's been one thrilling journey," Nia smiled, turning to her friends. With elegance and grace, Tiara replied, "And we promised to return, didn't we?" They exchanged knowing looks filled with promise, a shared conviction blossoming in their hearts. Whatever awaited them back home, whatever they would face, they now possessed memories, friendships, and the courage to encounter it all together. As they drifted deeper into the cosmos, The exhilaration of escape mingled with a bittersweet sensation that tugged at their hearts. A mere glimpse of Earth was behind them, but the memories they created were carved into their souls. "We've seen so much in just a few days," Nia murmured, worry straining her cheerful demeanor. "What about our friends?" Tiara's vibrant spirit steadied Nia, casting a reassuring smile. "We still have the communication device. We'll be able to keep in touch." Zia, ever the methodical planner, turned to the controls. "If I can configure short-range signals, we can send our messages back home." As they initiated communication protocols, anticipation surged within the ship. Tiara dictated their first message, her voice steady. "Dear Earthlings, you have opened our eyes to joy, laughter, and friendship. This connection is more valuable than any Zorathian jewel." As the transmission went on, they couldn't help but share laughter as they recounted the humorous misadventures, the way Emily had laughed at the beanbags or how Zia's focus had nearly gotten tangled in laughter. In the stillness of space, their hearts swelled as they reflected on the moments, dancing at the festival, playing games, and connecting. "What will we say when we send this?" Nia asked earnestly, worried about their upcoming farewells. Tiara pondered, her voice softening. "We'll tell them that our friendship transcends the stars. We'll return, and the laughter will fill the air once more." Zia nodded in agreement, "and ensure they realize they have forever altered the course of our exploration journey." As they prepared the message, the ship glided gracefully through the stars, offering the girls a chance for one last glance at the glowing blue planet below. "Earth is breathtaking," Zia said, her eyes reflecting a multitude of emotions. "We've made bonds that hold more gravity than any cosmic matter." "Friendships can have a lasting impact," Nia added wistfully. As the stars twinkled outside, the girls traded glances filled with laughter and warmth. "We shall return one day," Tiara proclaimed, her spirit vibrant. With their message sent and their hearts steady, the girls set their course for home, holding on to the memories and connections they made during their brief yet transformative time on Earth. With a renewed sense of optimism and friendship cemented in the starlit void, the girls vowed to return, embracing the laughter that echoed across the cosmos, knowing their journey was far from over.